Hey everybody, welcome back. Devin, the OG original Grognard, back in the Grognard's Corner, doing something I don't get a chance to do very often. Most everybody watches the channel know that, now obviously from the name, the original Grognard, I'm old school. I mean, I was old school before school was even in. And I like doing a lot of older games. So I don't get a chance very often to do newer games. Not that I don't like newer games, it's just there's the lack of interest for me sometimes in a lot of newer games. That's not true. There are a lot of new games out there I'd like to do, but I just don't get around to doing them that often. So what we got here is we have got another title from Hollandspiele Games. If you remember, I did a playthrough of their first game that they released, the Schelt campaign, several months ago. And if you take a look, this is game number 18 from them. I love the fact that Hollandspiele goes ahead and sticks the number of the game, so you can kind of, if you're a collectionist and you're a completist, you kind of got a good idea what numbers they're up to and what copies you may be missing. I'll be real honest. A couple years ago, when I first started becoming aware of Hollandspiele, I kind of figured they were going to be a flash in the pan, like, all right, they might put out 3 or 4 games and maybe 1 or 2 a year. No, Tom has been blowing everybody away, I think, he's got, in the last 2 years, 20 titles, I think he's published. Now, not all are his designs. I mean, he's got designs from other people. But to be honest, I really didn't expect the company to be as prolific as they are, and it's a nice, pleasant surprise. You don't get a chance to see many game companies put out the wealth of titles that Hollandspiele has managed to get out in such a short period of time. I mean, hell, even the big companies like GMT. I mean, they don't put out 10 titles a year even. So, okay, now granted, these are a little bit smaller than GMT games, but still, I mean, if you haven't checked them out, they really do have a lot of fun games. They got wide width, depth, and breadth of different topics and titles. One of the games that I do want to get from them is can't remember the title of it, but it covers the Opium Wars. So yeah, it's just a lot of really interesting and cool titles. But anyways, so Table Battles, generous donation to the channel, so I had to kind of get this to the table real quick. Now, I definitely was interested in Table Battles when I first kind of heard about it and I first kind of saw it. And this is kind of a stupid, silly way for someone to be interested in a game. You see all these wood blocks on here. This drew my eye. You have a game that's got wood blocks like this, I'm always going to be drawn to it. Not that I enjoy, and play a lot of Euro games that have a lot of bits and blocks like this, but the simple fact that these blocks remind me so much of Kriegspiel, the original Prussian war game, which was released 1840 something, and actually you can still get copies of it today. Two Fat Lardies out of England, their website, you can get the Hollandspiele, or not the Hollandspiele, the Kriegspiel rules, and several expansions that they've done for it. I've actually considered picking up Kriegspiel, but I haven't, not quite yet. But anyways, yeah, any game that has these type of blocks in it that's very evocative of the original Kriegspiel will always catch my eye. There's another game company, Pub Battles, that does something real similar to what Kriegspiel used to do with these wooden blocks. So anyways, that's the thing that caught my eye. I know, silly, stupid reason to catch my eye. But hey, it worked. So definitely always interested in these types of blocks. So anyways, yes, this is the box, and we have not even cracked the cellophane on it. I actually also got the first expansion, which is the War of the Roses. And I will admit my my knowledge and history of English history, British history, is severely lacking, mainly because they bore me to tears. I don't know what it is. I mean, when I studied World War II, when I started getting World War II, it's like I hated the North African campaign because it was all the British. And I don't know what it is. It's just whenever anybody starts to mention the British in any type of historical context, my eyes kind of roll back in my head and I start to snore. No slight to our fellow Anglophiles out there. It's just not my thing. So anyways, let's... So, I'm not really sure what the War of the Roses is. I'm pretty sure I don't think that's the English Civil War. It might be, and I'm sure there people who are more knowledgeable in English history are probably pulling their hair out. You idiots, it's such and such. Anyways, so, taking a look at table battles. What does it come with? Well, first of all, let's see if we can get this up here without the light blinding us. 50 cards, 90 wooden pieces, a 4-page rule book. You know, I will say that sometimes it's nice just to have a game that's kind of a beer and pretzels game that, you know, I get tired of the weight of like ASL and ATS sometimes. Sometimes I just want something simple to play. 12 six-sided dice. That's kind of a bit off-putting. I'm not a fan of rolling lots and lots and lots of dice. I know the mechanics of this game, so I understand why there's a lot of dice, and we'll get into that in a little bit. But for the most part, I don't like rolling lots and lots of dice. And really, here's something. Get the camera shifted down. Something new and exciting, something completely unlike any other game on your table. Table Battles is a thinky filler, a light dice game that nevertheless will have you scratching your chin and agonizing over your decisions. It's all about leverages and feints and counterfeints, threats and counterthreats, creating an opening and then exploiting it. With 8 battles over the course of 4 centuries, there's plenty to show off the system and its versatility. And there's also plenty of room in the box for expansions, which we've already seen in, like I said, the first expansion. The War of the Roses. I don't think this might I haven't even cracked that open yet. So we'll get to that in a little bit. Let's go ahead and crack open. This is my knife. This is one of the pocket knives I carry. I love trains. And this is an old steam engine, especially steam engine, the 2442. So, yeah, that's my cool knife. It's one of my knives I carry around. Let's go ahead and crack this open. I love this. I love the fact that, you know, it's not a big box. You don't need big boxes all the time. You don't need the old Avalon Hill bookcase games. All right, so what do we got? Dice. Not that many people need dice, but yeah, gamers always seem to have a plethora of dice. I've probably got several hundred hidden around the house. So here's your dice. Pretty cool. Red and blue. So you got 6 for each side. Again, dice are dice. And these are actually look like pretty good ones. Okay, and now here we have the wooden blocks. Look at that. We got 4 different colors in. Well, 5 different colors in there. We got a bunch of white ones, light blue, dark blue, red, pink. Well, I'll call those light red. That's red and light red. I mean, we call light blue. We don't call it, you know, ocean or whatever. So why should we call light red pink? Yeah, no pontificating and bloviating. So a bunch of these. Now, I'm fairly certain that these are used to mark the casualties on the cards. I haven't actually seen... Well, I've seen a couple demo gameplays. So for me to say I don't know how the gameplay goes is a misnomer, because I do kind of know how it goes. But anyway, so plenty of these. Lots of them. And here's your deck of cards, at least the deck of cards for the 8 battles. Now, the battles, from what I understand, are broken down into different scenarios. And you pull out the card. Whoops, helps if I actually show you the cards. You pull out the cards for each scenario. Now, how they're identified, I'm not really sure. Is there anything on the back to identify what they could be used for? Here's the scenario cards. All right, so let's see. Battle of Brooklyn Heights, 27 August 1776, First Player Colonials. So here we go. Cards 39B through 42B. So that's the cards that you'll pull. Morale 1, second player, British and their vile Hessians. Okay, that's funny. That made me chuckle. 36B to 38B, so it looks like probably only 2 or 3 cards. Probably a smaller scenario. Morale of 1 as well. Battle of the Dunes, 14 June 1658. French and English against España. Battle of Ivry, 14 March 15. Now, I will admit, Middle Ages, Napoleonic, I have kind of a big blind spot in my historical studies, so I don't know what any of these battles are, but I'm sure they're pivotal and important for whatever conflicts they were in. Cards 07B through 13B, Catholic League 14B through 20B, Battle I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. French against the Grand Alliance, 1709. Battle of Bosworth Field, Plains of Abraham, 13 September 1759, British and French. And it looks like they also have any special victory conditions or anything like that. So we got scenario 8. So these are scenarios. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yep, and there we go. Battle of White Mountain, 1620, Bohemian Revolt, Imperials and Catholic League. All right, so those are your scenario cards. These are the 8 scenario cards that come with it. And so then you would pull out whatever card you need. So let's take a look. Like here we have Battle of White Mountain. Bohemian Result would require 7A through 10A. So let's go 7A through 10A. So let's go and set those to the side. And then I'm going to guess that the side, the color band along the top will coincide with the blocks that you use. And so then 1A through 6A, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, there we go. That would be the first scenario, Battle of White Mountain. There'd be the Bohemian Revolts cards over here, and then Imperial and Catholic League over here. All right, so pretty simple to figure out how the scenarios are set up. Not a clue what any of the numbers on here mean. I'm sure we'll be getting into that when we get to the gameplay. Let's go ahead and put these to the side real quick. So those are the cards. The rule book. And this literally is. I mean, it's not even 4 pages of rules. It's 3 pages of rules. You got the splash screen, cover page with the index, and then 3 pages of rules. So, yeah, good filler game. And like I said, a lot of times you need filler games. You need something where you're not trying to give birth to an accountant all the time. So we got that. There's the rule book for that. So let's go ahead and now take a quick look at. I'm not even sure how to open. Let's see if I can do this without breaking it. It says push. There we go. Hey, I did it without breaking it. What do you know? Let's go ahead and slide that off. Take a look at this title card. Here we go. War of the Roses, system design, Tom Russell, scenario design, also Tom Russell. This expansion contains 9 scenarios 9 through 16. In addition to the 8 scenario cards and the cards you hold in your hand, this set includes 40 new formation cards. Because these battles are all drawn from one conflict, you will see the same characters pop up repeatedly. It's important to utilize the card numbers to ensure that you have correct formation for that specific scenario. I've also included a replacement scenario card for Scenario 8, as the first batch of base games contains some errata. Blame it on the Hessians. Okay, I suppose the Hessians are going to get all the blame. So what do we got here? 16. Okay, these are backwards. So we got Battle of Stoke Field, Tweakesbury, Battle of Barnet, Edgecote Moor, Taunton, Mortimer's Cross, Blore Heath, St. Albans, and hey, look at that. Battle of Brooklyn Heights. There's our replacement card. So I'm going to have to take this. And, well, let's see. Let's take a look, because I think the one I have is kind of the second edition. First player color cards. It's Morale. Yep, looks like the edition that I got already has the errata in it. So for the older people who had like the first edition of Table Battles, this would be the new Scenario 8 card you use. And set that to the side, and then of course we got all these cards. Now the really cool thing that I've always that has really intrigued me about the system is that it's kind of an abstract system. You're rolling dice and trying to match numbers, and you take, X amount of dice, and where do you stick the dice to activate abilities from the different units, and go from there. So let's try to see. Yeah, I'm sure. I think these numbers is how many hits they can take, i.e. how many blocks that you'll put out for them. And again, I have not read the rules yet. Shouldn't take me too long to read the rules. But then it can attack. I'm not sure. I would think everything can attack. Yeah, they can attack, but then... okay, so you got Screen, Royalist Artillery, and then you've got some other 2 pairs, Cromwell, 1 hits, yada, yada, yada. I'm sure that all means something. It just doesn't mean anything to me right now. But the cool thing about this is, since it is kind of an abstract system, and it does abstract rank and file warfare, There is nothing stopping Hollandspiele and Tom Russell from putting out expansion packs for any type of rank and file battle. I mean, if he wanted to, I'm sure he can go all the way back to ancients, the Roman times, Spartans, Macedonia, all the way up through Napoleonic, American Civil War, anything that would be considered a rank and file formational fight can be redone using this simple abstract system. And I think that's just really cool because honestly, I mean, you got 8 scenarios here. I think this retails for like $10, $12. So for $10, $12, you're getting another 8 scenarios, and the sky's the limit when it comes to expandability. All it comes down to is what Tom is willing to put out or what people are willing to design on their own and submit. That's something I need to look into. I don't know if anybody has started coming up with their own cards and their own scenarios. I'm going to have to check the Facebook page for that. Because, anytime you have a game with modularity to it like this, something abstract and something that represents and can be used for any type of battle, situation, scenario, what have you, like Squad Leader, like Advanced Tobruk System, you have people out there who's going to make up their own crap for it anyways. So, I'm going to have to check BGG to see if anybody's done that and check the Hollandspiele Facebook and the website, because if there's anything a gamer loves is more scenarios. You give us more scenarios, more situations, and you're going to hook us for life. So, a couple things that drew me to this battle originally, these little wooden blocks that really reminded me a lot of the original Kriegspiel. The modularity of it, the expandability of it, and the simple fact that it's only 3 pages long. Even I can't mess up the rules that bad for that. So, just wanted to get this unboxing to show people real quick. I will be getting this to the table relatively soon. I do want to apologize. I've got some real-life issues going on that have been draining a lot of my time, energy, focus, and willpower. But I did want to get something out. I do have another unboxing I need to do. Old School Tactical 2. One of the Kickstarter editions. So I've got the Paratrooper, and I've got the mats, and I've got a bunch of cards. And again, that was a kind donation to the channel. Do I need another tactical system in my life? ATS, ASL. No, I don't need another tactical system in my life. Is that going to stop me? No, of course not. So hopefully we'll be seeing another video either on gameplay with this or the unboxing of Old School Tactical here relatively soon. Questions, comments, concerns, complaints, criticisms in the comment section. I'll see everybody next time. See ya!